And may I have your name, please?
Yes, Christopher Smith.
Can you please spell your first and last name?
ChristopherSmith.
Okay, try not to lean, just straight.
Yes, sir.
And sir, can you please tell us what happened at your house?
I was actually at my home, and I got a phone call from my son stating that he was being pulled over by several sheriffs, and he told me that he was located north of 76 here on 50th Street. So I immediately jumped into my car, and I drove to that location to find him being taken into custody. I pulled into the Riley's parking lot. I walked over. The deputies told me that they'll speak to me in a minute. So I stood back. I waited for them to come and talk to me. At that point in time, they told me that my son was involved in a road rage type incident. They told me that they'll fill me in more when they have the opportunity. At that time, they told me that they were going to issue a warrant for my home and that they had deputies currently standing at my house. I immediately expressed to them that I have dogs located on the premises. I expressed to them that I have 4 dogs that were currently out running around, and that my son has a dog that is his emotional stress dog that is strictly in his room, and that nobody gains access to that room, and that would create a problem if they were to try to come into that bedroom. I expressed that over and over again. I told them that was my main concern. That was my only concern at that point in time, was the dog. They told me that they were getting the search warrant, that nobody would gain access to the home or enter the home without that search warrant, and they would present that search warrant to me before they would enter the premises. And then they asked me if I had anybody that could make sure that that dog was put away safely so that there would be no issues. And I said, absolutely. I said, my wife can come to that location. She will be headed there now. And I said, okay. I said, so no one will gain access. I said, no one can enter that room. I said, my son's dog is my only concern. That is all. That's all that mattered at the time. My son had already been in the police car. It had already taken place. All that mattered was the fact that they're going to do what they're going to do. That's what the Lancaster Sheriff's Department does. They're going to come to my house. They're going to search my house. That's what it is. So like I said, I told them that my wife would be on the way. They told me that they would not go into the premises. As I'm standing there, I had a friend drive by the house, and he said that he saw that the Sheriff's Department had already gone, and they've already obtained, and they're going through my home. At that time, I looked at the deputy and I said, why are they in my location? He said, oh, I don't know. I have no idea. I can't answer those questions. I said, so you can't answer those questions? I said, what about the dogs? What's going on? I said, I told you that my wife needs to be there. I said, I cannot have anything happen to that dog. I said, I cannot. That's my son. That's his world. That was all. As will be seen on their body cameras, I possibly have footage on my own camera. That was all that was stated. I finally got over here. My one son comes out and he says, as he was putting the 4 dogs in the trailer, he heard 4 gunshots. I immediately looked at the deputies. I said, you shot my dog? I said, you killed my dog? They said, don't come to any speculation. I said, you didn't hear gunfire? They said, we're out here. They said, we can't tell you what happened. I said, you can't tell me if you shot my dog? I said, you killed my dog? You killed my family member? I said, I told you. I said, it's on every one of your body cams. I said, I told you that dog's in that back bedroom. I said, you guaranteed that nobody would gain access to this home until you had that search warrant. They came into the home, entered the home. They still don't have a search warrant. They're standing behind me now telling me that it could be anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. They tried to have animal control come and so-called, I guess, remove the dog, is what they said. They said that they wanted to have the dog removed. I told them absolutely not. I said, you're not removing my family member. I said, I'm not going to have them come and pick up. I need to say my goodbyes to my dog. Yet have I been allowed to go and gain access to my home, which they don't even have a warrant for. And here we are probably about 2 hours into this. 2 hours into this.
So at about what time did this happen?
I'd have to look at I can't even begin to tell you that honestly. I feel like I'm in 2 hours into this. Mm-hmm. My time is still throwing off. Like I said, after everything that's taken place,
did they tell you what the search warrant was all about?
They said that my son had gotten into he was on the road, there was a road rage incident, and that he had jumped out of a vehicle. They couldn't tell me anything more. And I said, so that makes it for you guys to come to my house and to get a search warrant. There's been an ongoing situation. Like I said, my son, my family, this isn't the first time, nor will it be the last, I'm sure. This has been an ongoing occurrence. I mean, this continues. It always continues. Like I said, this all behind me stems, my dog being shot, everything stems from apparently my son being in his car, which they have in custody.
They searched the whole vehicle. They searched the whole car. I have the car sitting here across the street in the parking lot. Car's been released to me. They have my son in custody. And then his probation officer came over here. He said that he talked to the deputy. The deputy said that he's not necessarily sure that there was a gun involved. That the witness stated that it looked like he lifted up his shirt. So all this behind me is over my son supposedly being in a road rage situation. And now he's down at the station. He's been taken into custody. They've came to my house, murdered my dog. There's no other way to state it. There's no other way. There's no other. They were warned multiple times and told. That's all that mattered. And there's no doubt about that in my mind. There's no possibility that I didn't state that. That's all that was stated. My wife was getting over here to be able to do so.